Before the Shifting Gears program, honestly, I was lost. I didn't know which way to go. I had gotten laid off in May from a company that, for the most part, I had been hired away back in 1996 and had been, I guess if you will, a transient, moved over to this side of the state to take that work. And I didn't know what to do. But I can say being involved with the Shifting Gears program has had a very profound impact on my career and my life by teaching me the primary elements necessary to help me succeed in the employment market. The program's also provided me the opportunity to meet some fantastic people and gain some great new friends. The future for me right now is looking pretty bright. Because of this program, I actually landed a job with my internship host, which that company was Surf Pro, which is a restoration remediation contractor. My new position will definitely be a challenge. However, I feel I'm very well prepared to handle any challenges because of what this program has taught me. Truthfully, I can't say enough about the benefits of the Shifting Gears program. And other than that, I feel like I've been blessed in a major way and very, very proud to be a participant of Cohort 16, and my deepest thanks to everybody.
My past, throughout my entire career, I've been a self-employed chiropractor. And I recently received an offer to sell the practice, which I did, and thought naively that I could take my talents and skills and apply them to an encore career, as I called it. Well, being self-employed for 30-plus years, you've never had to have a resume, you've never had a job interview, you've never had to search for jobs. I never even had a boss until I got married. And at that time, when my optimism was fairly low, I saw the information on the Michigan job site about the Shifting Gears program, and I thought, that's the exact program I need. That described it perfectly. And I found myself immersed in what I have come to describe as this treasure trove of talent. I started to quickly realize that I did have talents that were marketable, that were necessary. I just had to figure out how to polish them a little bit better, finesse them, maybe learn some new skills, and get them in front of the right people to open up your network. Luckily, I was offered an internship with Kurt Monhart's organization, the Economic Alliance Group, and was able to apply those skills, learn new skills, and tap into an even larger network of people that wanted to use my skills to forward their business. I'm happy to say that as of last week, Kurt's organization made me an offer to become their director of business development in their healthcare arena. And the encore career that I was searching for is ready to launch. I have shifted gears in my life, and I'm very optimistic about my future. Thank you so much for this wonderful program.
I used to be a person who liked to draw on walls. You see, we were going to do a kitchen remodel a couple years ago, and before we took out a wall, I wrote in large letters across the wall, "Happy 16th birthday, Gabby." And over the next month, we had people coming in and out of our house, adding pictures and adding their own sayings to this wall, their own messages. And it became this collage of creativity and expression. And I thought, I always want to have a wall in my house that we can write on. And then I started looking for a job. And I was looking online, and I felt so discouraged and frustrated, and I felt alone. And then I decided to join Michigan Shifting Gears. And it was one of the best decisions that I've made in a long time. I found this community of people that surrounded me who were kind and gracious and really smarter than I am, super smart, and so willing to open up themselves and their resources and their networks to all of us. And in the future, I am looking forward to being a person who is able to look any of you in the eye or anyone else that I come across and be able to say, come on, come with me. Let's go. draw on that wall together. Thank you.
I'm a marketing professional that's passionate about making my hometown, Lansing, Michigan, a great place to live, work, and play. I joined Shifting Gears to explore new opportunities and expand my network after a job transition. My life's motto of Carpe Diem, seize the day. I'm all about trying new things, even things that are scary. One of the most valuable experiences I've had as a result of shifting gears has been my exposure to new industries and the new economy. I've loved learning about tools that highlight my skills. As a result of shifting gears, I've met so many people from around the great state of Michigan that are interested in helping get Michiganders back to work and helping them through the process. We are in this together. In the future, I'm looking for the right opportunity to make a difference in business, association, or a nonprofit. And while I would love to work in marketing, I feel like I have the confidence and the ability to make change and try something new. I want to thank Amanda Dumond for my internship site, Prima Civitas. Thank you to my supportive peers, Jason and Scott, Denise, Donna, Ruth, Rhonda, and Diana, and to the many people that put this program together. You can find me on Twitter, LinkedIn at Ann and Lansing, or Google me. Thank you.
30 years in sales, in logistics and supply chain, and I found myself 2 weeks removed from my last job when I found Michigan Shifting Gears. And I said to my wife, read this. The timing was impeccable because it was about 2 weeks before the program was to start. It was 2 weeks or 3 weeks since I left or was laid off of my last job, and it seemed serendipitous. And I told my wife, read this, and she said, boy, that sounds good to me. I said, it sounds good to me. I said, I'm going to go for that. Michigan Shifting Gears, social media, LinkedIn, resume building, interviewing, all of that came in spades, but an A+. But it gave you so much more. It gave me a sense that I wasn't alone in this journey. I wasn't alone in my challenges. My peers found the courage and the fortitude and the persistence and the inspiration, and I could share with them as they could share with me in this journey, and the struggles and the wins, and it became something I just loved and wanted to be a part of. And what a wonderful program. Thank you.
I was looking for a job using my training in business skills. I was hoping for a position where I could help develop people to their potential and then ultimately for their organizations. I scoured the internet. I targeted my resume. I got an interview. I didn't land. So I scoured the internet, targeted my resume, got an interview, and didn't land. So I scoured the internet. Okay, you get the picture. Then one day, at the speed of a very tentative click, I found Shifting Gears. I attended the webinar and decided it sounded like a really good investment in my future. As a result of the program activities and the connections, I have been able to make the shift and to realize that the world still needs me, that Michigan still needs me and wants my skills. I'm looking forward to a future with my Shifting Gears lens, and the possibilities are limitless. And with that lens, you can't take it off. Once you got it, you got it. I am extremely, extremely grateful to know that there are other people in the Shifting Gears and networks of others that are willing to walk beside me, and they are genuinely interested in my success.
I spent the last 40 years in the restaurant business. Started out as a dishwasher, worked up to cook, then became executive chef, and then restaurant manager. In the last 2.5 years, I've gone through 2 career transitions caused by downsizing. While unemployed, I tried all the same methods I used before to find a job. Target a few companies, send out a few resumes, get a couple interviews, get a job. I came to Shifting Gears because I felt I needed change. And Shifting Gears seemed to offer the change I needed. It helped me redefine my future and showed me different ways to look for a job. The most important thing that I have learned through this program is that in my career transition, as in life, nothing is constant. There are good days, there are bad days. There are days when I'm really excited, and there's days where I feel like giving up. This program has given me not only knowledge, but also a support network that can help encourage me through the tough times and into the future. And for that support, I can only say thank you.
After preparing to be a teacher and musician, I had a record year in winning awards for my school district, only to find out on the last day I was being laid off. What? Is what you want to say. And that puts you in a position where you feel like nobody wants me. I have too many years of experience that works against me in my field. So where am I going to go? And lo and behold, I went to the most depressing place in the world, unemployment office. And there I saw Shifting Gears on a website. And 3 weeks after school started, obviously I didn't have a teaching position. So this is what I decided I would do. Shifting Gears was something for me in that I realized I could segue with my set of skills into another career. And the main thing you can come away from this program is with renewed confidence for me. There were other people who were kicked in the gut, knocked down, but we all dusted ourselves off, stood back up, and found out we could be successful with the support of this program. Mr. Goy talked about transitions. They're painful, but we grow. That's the time that we grow. So my advice to everybody that might be a future Shifting Gears participant is to take the risk and go for it. Thank you.
I've worked as an attorney, a teacher, and a human resources professional. But far more important than that, I'm Pam's husband. I'm Leslie and Kim's father. Last Wednesday, Pam and I were at the cemetery. We put a wreath on her parents' headstone. As we left, our car hesitated and lurched forward. It continued to do that until we got to the mechanic shop. The car was locked in first gear. That's where I was before Shifting Gears. I was stuck in low. Since Shifting Gears, I'm moving forward. Now, certainly a big part of that are the skills that I've gained. But it's the relationships, the friendships that we've made that inspire me. Our car, the transmission is shot. Oh, we can repair it. But it's time for an ending. It's time for a new car. And it's time for a new beginning for me.
I am a graduate of Grand Valley State University, the Seidman School of Business, who has offered this awesome facility for us to use today. And I also have had a successful career as a dental hygienist. My affiliation with the Michigan Shifting Gears came from receiving an email from the MEDC one day, a job connection email, and I was scrolling through, and it said, win lunch with Governor Schneider. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a political person, but I'd like to have Governor Schneider hear my story. I have 2 college degrees, I can't find a job. And I was one of 3 people chosen out of 1 million resumes, and the Michigan Talent Bank to have lunch with Governor Schneider. Sat right next to him. And anyway, I also won as to be able to participate in this program. Actually, the day I had lunch with Governor Schneider, I went to a networking event down here at Grand Valley at the Everhard Center. Actually it was their inaugural day of some of past participants of the program. It was their inaugural launch of their networking event. And I remember talking with one of the gentlemen who had just graduated from the program, and he said, "Oh, Michigan Shifting Gears," he said, "you know this networking event, it's just like that, but it's on steroids." And after now going through the program, I would have to say that is pretty an accurate assessment of the program. The networking and the connections have been phenomenal.
At the end of 2008, I downsized myself from my job as a Unix storage engineer with a major West Michigan corporation. I had no idea what I was letting myself in for. I spent a year unemployed. And the 4 years since then, I have been working for out-of-state corporations. I joined Shifting Gears hoping to discover a magic formula that would lead to employment with a West Michigan company. Instead of finding a formula, I started a transformational journey. I learned to stop looking back and instead to look forward. To seek for opportunities to solve problems rather than a place to get a paycheck. Going forward, I want to put off the Lone Ranger mentality. I want to make connections, both to help me achieve my goals and to help others reach theirs. And I have one final comment I want to make. Quoting Martin Luther, "Work like it all depends on you. Pray like it all depends on God."
Just a few weeks ago, I considered myself to be an ordinary housewife from Michigan. My perspective changed in just a few weeks by embracing the program and the opportunities offered through the Shifting Gears program. I have since learned how profound my ordinary life really was. This program helped me to find the things that mattered to me, to find the things that mattered to me in a safe environment. I discovered the power of laughing, crying through frustrations, learning what my skill set and talents were, and that they had value, to trust myself and other relationships, and to love again. Shifting Gears was life-changing for me. It gave me the power to change and the power to triumph. I went from just a housewife to an executive director of my own business, Belief Enterprises, where I help others gain exposure and direction for their business through website development, design, and social media services. I want you to know that I will continue on this journey. I will continue to learn, to give back, and will strive to soar to new heights. Shifting Gears has helped me to put my life into perspective and to truly embrace all of who I am and to continue in a more purposeful way to give back. Thank you.
Before Michigan Shifting Gears, I was very involved with my family, nonprofits in the area, and working very part-time. Over the summer, I resigned from the nonprofit, and my youngest child started to drive. So I had another 10, 15, 20 hours a week. I ran across in the newspaper the article on Shifting Gears. I cut it out, put it aside. I kept coming back to it. Okay, I thought it was a good idea. Unfortunately for me, there was enough time to get my family on board before it started. So I did that. And I'm amazed by this program. First and foremost, the people that are in it. I feel like many of these people will be my friends for life. Another thing very big to me was surprise at what is available in Western Michigan. I have always worked for large companies, and I thought that that was pretty much all that there was. But to be able to get connected into these networks to me was just very, very pleasant. And I'd like to thank my internship, Kurt Monhart, who's here today. And my goal for this was to be able to work more full-time, and I am happy to say that through connections here, I am now working with one of the small startup software companies in the Grand Rapids area.
When I arrived at Shifting Gears, I was in a transition from going from being a pastor for most of my career to now looking at what's out there. And so when I got here, my goals were to figure out what jobs are possible. Do I want to stay in a nonprofit setting? Do I want to go to a for-profit setting? I knew I needed to learn to update my resume, job search skills for the 21st century. I hadn't done it in this kind of way in a long time. And so I arrived, and truly my world has exploded with the amazing group of people, but also all the opportunities that I never knew existed, and all the very cool things that people are doing all over the state. And so one of the most important things for me about the program was the business simulation. All of you here who are family members of the participants, you know it was kind of like boot camp for 3 days. And I told my peer networking group that I could cheerfully forego it the day before. I thought, I don't want to do this, I'm not excited about it. It turned out to be one of the most transformational parts of the program for me. I loved it. And I found out that my skills do transfer. That was one of my worries, but my skills do transfer into a business setting, and I really like thinking like an entrepreneur. That is what I'm doing, starting my own consulting company, doing all the things I love about pastoring, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about taking what I've learned here and moving out into the world, and I'm really excited to be continuing to help people. So thank you for all of you, and thank you just for the opportunity.